Here's the lineup for the first race, and down there on pole position, car number 50, Barry Crump from Bury St Edmunds, Formula D champion in Glidden Hill. Barry, a car salesman by profession, and obviously must be one of the top-rated drivers in this particular category. Very much the man to beat. Alongside him on the grid, number 176, that's Ivan Gill, motor engineer from Bristol, a former newcomer of the year in this category, and he drives the Metro, a car which is prepared totally by the driver, Brian Slark engine. And then watch the car on the outside of the second row, number 34, Graham Strugnell from Rochester, in the C-Link car. Graham, who spends most of his time competing over in Holland, but very rarely seen in this country, but surely must be a driver to watch. Definitely watch out for the front-wheel drive cars, because in these wet conditions, they should have the advantage. Okay, engine revs building up, excitement beginning to build inside the drivers as they wait for the green light, which comes now, and everybody making a very, very good start as Barry Crump heads the pack away up to the top of paddock. It's Barry Crump with the Citroën Visa of John Waghorn there in third place, going around the outside of Ivan Gill, but it's Barry Crump. Barry Crump as they turn down onto Tumbledown Hill. Graham Strugnell getting very wide and losing a bit of territory there as Ivan Gill comes into second place. A little bit of door handling going on between him and John Waghorn, but as they go into them through the notorious S's, it's Barry Crump with the twin cam Fiesta from John Waghorn, Ivan Gill. Then number 34, Graham Strugnell up Harewood Hill towards Druids for the first time, and it's Barry Crump. Barry taking a nice line through Druids to come down the short descent of Graham Hill before the adverse camber of Langley's Gap. As they hit Langley's Gap, it's Caterham's John Waghorn with the Citroën Visa holding a good second place as they head along the knife edge, this very, very treacherous section. As Barry Crump then goes through and away towards Hoppy's Drop, beginning to now extend a considerable lead over to the second place, John Waghorn. Round and over Hoppy's Drop, named after the legendary British champion, Trevor Hopkins, down onto the solid field of the tarmac. Ivan Gill there in third place, from Graham Strugnell in fourth. Then the first of the escorts, Mick Marchant from Nigel Campen, as they come down now, down the Cooper Straight. One of the fastest sections is John Waghorn. John Waghorn challenging for the lead, and John Waghorn going through. The Citroën Visa of John Waghorn takes Barry Crump as they go through and climb up to the top of paddock once again. Barry Crump coming back on the inside. Barry getting the inside line as Waghorn goes a little bit wide, and Ivan Gill also coming in there with the Metro. So it's Fiesta, Metro and Citroën Visa as they head down Tumbledown for the second time into the notorious S's at the bottom, where it's very, very slippery. Then they try to get as much traction as they can up Harewood Hill. Back marker going through there. Nigel Campen with the escort, but it's still Barry Crump in the lead. Barry Crump coming up now, round Druids. 50, one of the men to beat in the Formula D category in Great Britain. Barry Crump, who was an amazing 9th overall in the 1984 British Grand Prix. He goes away there now as we get Graham Strugnell, I think, coming through into second place, but still Barry Crump leading. Watch Graham Strugnell. Not, as I said, seen him too often in this country, but a man with a lot of experience. 5th in class in the Dutch Championship this year, and as somebody dislodges the tyres going into Hoppy's Drop, it's Graham Strugnell coming through, and Strugnell also clipping the tyres there on the exit of Hoppy's Drop as they go away. The escorts finding the going very, very treacherous indeed. And John Waghorn is out. Car number 122 there from Caterham. John Waghorn in trouble with the Visa. Barry Crump with Ivan Gill up now into second place, surely. Ivan Gill coming through into second place. Mick Marchant now into third, and Strugnell in trouble. Graham Strugnell in trouble on the exit of the chicane. Someone's dislodged the tyres there as they go away now through down Tumbledown Hill. It's still number 50 then, Barry Crump. Barry Crump now into the S's with Bristolian Ivan Gill beginning to close in a little bit there with the very fast lightweight Metro, and the escort there in trouble going into the S's, and that's slowing some of the other cars to come through. Now it looked a bit like Frank Hartley making up good territory there. Frank, who is a former hot rodder, but up front it's still Barry Crump from Ivan Gill. Two drivers from the front row of the grid, showing what good seating the drivers have been given here by the organisers. These two top men then, one from the east, one from the west, coming along on the knife edge. You can see that the conditions are absolutely treacherous with those tyres dislodged still there in the track, and the drivers having to take evasive action as they come over Hoppy's Drop, back down onto the tarmac, where it's becoming increasingly slippery, and Crump out. Crump spinning off onto the inside, just nudges the arm go. Can Barry Crump get going again? Crump reversing off as Ivan Gill goes away now, almost unchallenged at the moment, down into the chicane. Barry Crump rejoining as Mick Marchant goes sailing across in front. Mick Marchant, but Mick a long way down on our leaders. He comes away up over the top once again to go into paddock turn for the last time. Ivan Gill comes round, throws the Metro down, tumble down. Remainder of the field coming through, still headed by Nigel Campen. We can see Barry Crump having rejoined there in fourth position. Barry Crump in fourth position, and Ivan Gill slowing a bit as they go into the S's, and the remainder of the pack beginning to come through and close a little bit. And certainly is marvellous performance from these two escort drivers in these wet conditions, that they can control these rear-wheel drive front engine cars the way that they are. Nigel Campen with the blue line car, both these cars running blue line engines in second and third places, holding off Ivan Gill, who comes through Langley's Gap, heading away now towards the checkered flag. Nigel Campen second, but it's Ivan Gill coming through to head the pack home for the first win of this series. A 1.76. Ivan Gill takes the checkered flag, a very close finish behind him.
Well, that was certainly muddy and very slippery out there, and I would say that's typical of the sort of racing we'll be seeing here on Supercar over the next few weeks.
Well, I'm joined by Barry Crump, who finished fourth in the race. Conditions very slippy out there, Barry.
Absolutely diabolical. Worst I've known at Brands, I must admit.
Really?
Really.
Bad as that?
As bad as that.
Now, you were leading, you were going so well, and then what happened?
Well, I think it was a little bit of over-exuberance. And no, I lost concentration for a fraction of a second. I was actually looking in the mirror at the time, just to see how close the guy was.
We can see you coming down Hoppy's drop there. And there you spun it.
Fortunately, I kept the engine running, shoved it in reverse, and away we went. And I didn't lose more than 3 places, I think.
And then it was, of course, a charge from the back,
Yeah, it was a charge from the back, that's right. Another lap, we might have done it.